So nice to see you guys. Hello. Hey, Summer. What's up? So this again. One sec. Oh, okay. Can you see me? Oh, wait. No. One sec. Good, Annalisa. I'm good. I've been feeling really great.
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't see you. It was just like your voice, but I couldn't see where you were. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I got back from a walk, so it's been nice to just kind of like rest and relax. Did you end up just finishing filming?
Like just 5 minutes ago. 10
Oh,
minutes
nice.
ago. I started editing it already because I feel like Mondays are my most packed days.
Yeah.
So I have a lot to do, but I'm trying to just like be excited about it.
100%.
Because it is exciting stuff, but I'm tired a little today.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like trying to stay positive and stuff too. I felt really good this morning, but now I'm hitting like kind of a crash. But I had dinner, so I'm hoping, or lunch, sorry. So I'm hoping it kind of picks me up a little bit.
Nice.
That's awesome. I'm super excited to. Pardon?
And water.
Yeah, I have water right here. So I have like one of those 2.5 liter water bottles. So I drank one of those already today because it's been so hot. Like it's almost 30 degrees here. So it's been super, with the humidex is even higher. So I've been just pounding water like crazy. But yeah, besides that, it's been so good. And it's hard to film, but hopefully the next 2 days it's raining. So it'll be nice to take a break from all of the heat for a bit.
A little bit, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it humid where you are?
Yeah, super humid today. I went outside for a walk and it was like super sunny, but the path I took was like super, what do you call it, shady as well. So it wasn't too bad, but yeah, it was good. I'm happy that I got out for a little bit.
Also, I know nature is medicine, so.
It is 100%. Like it's the healing nature of the world, honestly, is nature. So it was nice just to be in the forest and take it easy too, which was good. And I'm super excited to chat more about our Manifestation Mondays. I thought we can probably talk about just manifesting people in our life, because I know you and me have both kind of been going through that a lot in the past, like, just kind of rearranging our energy with the people around us. And I thought that would be kind of cool if we kind of talk about that and also mention a bit about our manifestation. So I guess first starting off with, like, I guess for you, what was your video about? Because I don't think you told me about.
Yeah. So today's video is about money, but I included 2 stories
cool.
through 2 different methods.
Awesome.
One was a little bit more committed than the other.
Okay.
But it was pretty cool. I remembered when my friends told me last week, just remember next week you could use this. I forgot. So I was like, what can I say for today? But yeah, I think manifesting, just making today's video reminded me, like, you can have a very thorough practice or a very short practice. Not to say that it doesn't matter, because it does, but what matters truly is the feeling. So if you could keep an emotion constant for, like they say, that minute and 17 seconds,
yeah,
you really could, it's done, send it off. But then, if you do a practice that's an hour or it's every day, I feel that's what you build, like a continuous of the manifestation.
Yeah, I agree. And hey, Silvio, I'm so happy to see him. He's like one of the subscribers. It's so nice to see you. And yes, amazing people. I think it's so great that we have that power to manifest people that we want in our life. For me, I feel like when I manifest people, it comes in practice, like you mentioned. So it's like continuously putting an intention in the morning, imagining my life with these people and like what I would be doing with them and all of those things as well. If it's someone specific, like say like a soulmate or whatnot, explaining why you want to manifest that person into your life is really big as well. But yeah, I think like it is a practice. There is that part of that mindset. And like you said, if you can tap into your subconscious for only just 2 or 5 minutes, it can make a very big difference. And you can bring that vibration along with your rest of your day, right? So you're always setting into existence and and living in existence of that person that you want to manifest.
Right. Yeah, it's so cool manifesting people. I remember when I first learned about it, some of the people were like really excited about it in the comments of YouTube.
Yeah.
But others were like, it's not free will. You can't do that. It's magic. It's woo-woo. I'm like, I don't believe that. Because I think when you mean like specific person or like with an identity and name like one person, I just believe you can manifest whatever you want. And I believe if the universe doesn't bring you what you are putting out the intent for, it's because it's something that bigger that you can't see just yet.
Yeah.
So that's why I deliver it to you. So anytime you get a no from the universe, it's never really a no. It's like a wait.
Yeah. It's also confirmation. I love that you said that because I've been getting a lot of questions of people saying, I want to manifest my ex, I want to do this, but I don't know, I don't believe that they'll come into. So like that excuse of saying that the existence isn't there. So that's something to be mindful of, focusing on the fact that, it's not coming at the present time is really going to block your manifestation from coming. Also, another thing too is we evolve on a daily basis. So sometimes, people such as like ex-partners or certain specific people, they evolve their attributes too. So it's more focusing on like what you want in someone as opposed to focusing on a specific person themselves and kind of, I guess you can say like obsessing over the person, because that's another thing too. Like I'd love to talk to you about this because like I feel like there's a difference between manifesting and then asking out of desperation, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like for you, I guess, what's your difference between that? Like what's some examples that you can give either from yourself or like from other people where it's desperation and actually manifestation?
So I believe when you're desperate or obsessed, when you can't not think about that thing without flowing like easy in your life. Like if you're always thinking about, oh my God, I can't make the payment. Oh my God, I can't make the payment. Oh my God, like what is he gonna look at me today? Is he gonna text me today? I don't know. I think when you're so like tight on something, it makes it want to run away from you. Like the more you run after something, the farther it runs away. Like you're being forced. So don't be forceful, because it's like you really wouldn't want something that's really not for you anyway.
Yeah. And I think it goes against like what manifestation is in a way, because we're flowing energy towards what we want to have into our life, right? So like the moment that you come from desperation where you obsess over how much time it's coming into your life, like what the person's doing and their choices as well, frustration, all these other things, these other emotions, that's where desperation can actually also harm the person as well, right? Because then you're missing the opportunities and signs that universe and, spirit might be giving you. And you're just kind of going along this one path that might not necessarily give you the opportunities because you're obsessing over either past memory of that person or past kind of fantasy, or even fantasizing of what that person could be, as opposed to, I want to manifest this person because they're going to help me do this, and seeing that as an exchange. You know what I mean? It's a relationship between the two. It's a flow of energy between the two, whether it's a friendship, an intimate relationship, whatever may have you. And I think that's so important. I'm really trying to focus on that because, especially considering that some of the people that I've noticed that are following, they're learning about manifestation, and for you too, like they're learning about manifestation, they're learning about law of attraction. So it's just so important to add those habits in first, really early. And it can be as small as the small things, like even like manifesting a good teacher for like this September. Like I know some people wanted to do that. Or manifesting a simple thing like a friend to text you, like things that you are so definite about and you already have no limitations or doubts of the unknown, and then starting to kind of expand from that. So I feel like that really helps. And that's how I started. I would just like manifest like a message from like my family, or like, an email from a certain brand if I was like doing content creation stuff. Like those little things is what's going to make us evolve and expand our vibration a lot.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, oh, look at that. 111.
Oh, yeah. Timing.
I think the biggest thing that with manifesting that people, it's what harbors them from manifesting. It's being okay if it doesn't manifest.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like, are you comfortable with it not manifesting and understanding why? I always ask myself sometimes, and I don't like before I even react to feeling sad or rejected or any of those words, I ask myself, why did the universe want me to not have this manifestation? And usually it's because wrong timing or the person's not meant for me to be with. And then I find out later on with time and with patience, I get someone else that's worth my energy. It can also be a reflection of your energy too. Like I've had times where like I wanted to be in a relationship, but I wasn't in the space to be in a relationship. I needed to love myself more than anything before I could receive the type of person I was manifesting. So that's another thing too. It's a balance between like manifestation and releasing too, like making room in your energy to have that person. And if you don't, like, that's another reason why manifestation might not be happening. Maybe you're scripting, maybe you're meditating, maybe you're doing all the things. But if you aren't, clearing up, making space for that energy to flow, it's going to be really hard to either keep that manifestation or even have it come in the first place. So that was something that like a couple times has happened, like as simple as like getting into a school for university or a job, or even like, just having friendships that you feel like so confident that will work out. And then as you evolve, you notice that it's probably best not to have those. So I think it's just important to consider that rejection is actually not a bad thing if the universe rejects you to have something, we just got like a message from Krista Williams on YouTube saying, oh, wow, that is a good one. We forget about that aspect as well. Yeah, it's something we forget is discussing a little bit more of like how, rejection can actually be a blessing for us in times of manifestation. And again, at that time, you're probably mad and all of these things, but that's what allows us to evolve as conscious beings because we can control our reaction and come inwards and say, okay, no, like, why is this happening? Let me meditate on this. Let me just kind of cool my jets a little bit and reflect. And in doing that, or journal or script or let it out or release it, I can understand why the outcome happened the way that it did. So that's just something to consider.
I feel I'm really big on like vocabulary. I don't know why. It's just as a person, but when you said sometimes it's us, and I wanted to say it's always that.
Yeah.
I think it's hard sometimes for us to express it because it is kind of like a harsh reality, especially if you don't like your current circumstance, to say, like, this is my responsibility, or this, like, the reason why this is manifesting because it's something within me. But I also think the moment you think that, also think the power you have to change by just that same statement of I have the responsibility of creating whatever it is from within first. And that is why, like, we always say, well, Shika especially is always saying, it's very important to also do like the shadow work, because that is where you're going to, unleash that fear of just understanding your responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
And I just think the more excited you could get of understanding your freedom that you already have, I think that is what really ignites me. Even if you don't like your circumstance, having that self-love and gentleness to say, I'm better than what I was at that point in time when I made that choice or had that thought or said that horrible thing to myself. So yeah, I just think it's a journey, but I really want people to know that as long as you're trying every day, like 1 degree, like Tony Robbins says, you will succeed. Like you will see your abundance because you're saying, I respect myself enough that I want to add to my future self.
Yeah. I love that you said that. We just had another message. So during meditation, are there ways to settle into your body when you're frustrated? Because it takes me longer to surrender when I'm frustrated or trying to transmute energy. Is that normal? So basically, like, how can we some tips on how we can expand and just focus on our energy. So for you, like when you're meditating and say there's a lot going on in your life, in your reality of your now, like what are some tips that you do to help you just really focus on that manifestation?
That's a great question. So focusing, because it happens a lot, especially for me personally. So I'll say as of late, I take it like baby steps. You know, like acting as if I don't, like acting as if what would I say to like a kid, and I would just say it out loud. Yeah. I am going to meditate, like say an intention. I'm going to meditate and do my best to quiet my mind and make the effort, which would be the inspired action, to actually put yourself in a space where you're comfortable. Yeah. Maybe grab a crystal and just do it for 1 minute. 1 minute, focus on in and out, and then go for 2. And then even when a thought of not breath coming in, just come right back. And I know that's difficult, but the more you get comfortable with looking at your thoughts as little bubbles and not necessarily your thoughts, but as something you could look like a third view from, the easier you'll be able to say, oh, okay, even if I'm meditating and I'm focusing on my breath and this thought is coming up, I don't really have to focus on it. It's just a bubble. It could just kind of float away. Yeah. So just again, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and that's how you build your abilities to deepen your meditation.
I love that.
But it's practice.
Yeah, it is practice. And I think one of the things too is like allowing yourself to focus on breath. And that was something that I really focus on mentioning to people. So just saying breath or saying a word that can bring you back to center helps a lot. I also feel like you can never, this is one of the things that I've learned from my mentor, you're never really meditating until your mind is calm. So a lot of people who force meditations and they just kind of go into it, you're not actually meditating. You're just kind of like sitting and still, right? And you're not even still because you're thinking of other things that you need to get done. You're thinking of all the other stresses in your life. So the intention of meditation when you first start is to focus on breath, just to be and not to think of anything except for that moment. Once you do that, then you can start thinking about your intention. Then you can start visualization. Then you can start manifesting. But until that time or that specific intention is done, you aren't going into the state of your subconscious mind or meditation. So that's just something to consider, because I know some people when I got in, and even myself when I first started, I would rush through the breath, process. And sometimes I spend 5 minutes just calming my mind, and it's not until the end of the 5 minutes. And even if you want to do 1 minute as well, that's a great start too. But getting to that point where when your body is completely limp and focused on your breath. And then once you've done that, then you can kind of start. And actually a great little tip too, if you're just starting meditating, I find it's easier to tap into your subconscious when you're laying down. When you're sitting up, it can be very hard because you're focusing on your posture. You need to be a direct channel to source, to universe when you're doing your meditation. So when you're doing it in a sense where you're laying down and you're kind of in that yoga position where your legs are out, and you're just kind of, relaxing and whatnot, that to me, I feel is better for a lot of people. And that's how I started getting into meditation and actually focusing, because then I could just rest. I didn't have to feel about my lower back. I didn't have to feel about my posture as much. So that really helps. No worries, Krista. She said, thank you. And I know we got a message here from Silvio saying, I'm so happy you mentioned that, because I was going to comment on your shadow work comment that you said. But I think that we have to be aware of where we are in our journey and the manifest people situation that will elevate to the next level, not the next 100 levels. So sorry, it's just like white. I was trying to scroll it. No, you're good. So we can continue to uphill the ladder journey that is not just trying to elevate. Yeah, 100%. I think one of the biggest things to focus on is the shadow work. And the reason why is because, and I want to tell you guys this really story because this is really big. There have been times in my life, and I'm sure with everyone here, where I have been so dark, like such in my ego. I was acting on my ego sense. I was acting in my space of darkness. And I know we've all had these experiences, right? And we need to be fair of like where we are, like you said, but where we are. But most importantly, understanding that, like Summer said, everything that happens is our creation. And it's very hard to digest, because I remember when I was in the sense of making it really hard for me to accept some of the traumatic things I went through, and like trying to manifest, trying to meditate and all these things, and evolving at the same time. And then telling myself and my mentors or even my healers saying, this is part of your journey. Like, this is part of what you need to accept. This is going to help you understand what forgiveness is. This is going to help you release certain patterns of yourself that has been created over a long period of time. So I think a lot of the things about shadow work and meditation is just to check in with yourself and understand that even the hard times are created by ourselves. Even the things that are not our fault are created by ourselves. And that is super hard to digest. And you don't have to be okay with that sentence today. It took me years for me to be okay with those words, especially being someone who's been through assault. Like, that was not something I could swallow very well. I was like, what are you talking about? But I was reacting out of anger. I was reacting out of pain. I'm able to understand when someone has gone through a similar experience and have that connection of saying, I get you and I understand that pain, and being able to give them a safe space to release. So I think one of the biggest things is, if you have gone through hard things right now, or facing that right now in this moment, ask yourself, how can I step that work and just do it bit by bit? You will start to notice that things around you will become more abundant. You'll start to meet the right people. You'll start to end up having that friend that you need just at the right time, when you're just about to hit that hump of like what your next spiritual journey is. You'll start to notice that people will leave your life. And yes, it's going to be a grief of an experience, but in doing that, it's going to allow your heart to expand. And it's also going to allow you to understand what relationships do bring me value into my life. And I think that's so important. So as much as you're manifesting out energy, allow yourself to come back in, do the work. If you can't do shadow work as of now, or maybe you're just getting into it, meditating is a great start. Being with your thoughts. And I think I can't stress enough, it is so important for us to do that. Today I woke up and the one thing that came down to me is, and I think I talked to Summer about this, but health is wealth. Health is wealth. Like, it's literally that. And that's the same thing. And what health is spirituality. It's your mindset. It's your energy. It's the way that you feel. And today being my first day doing with my personal trainer, I was like, wow, I forgot how much wealth, like the health is the wealth. Like, it is making you feel great. You wake up, you feel amazing. You feel like you've gotten most of your day done by like 10 o'clock. And you also feel more clear-headed. So whatever that health is to you, make that part of your schedule. I think that's so important. So that's kind of just my 2 cents as far as like responding to shadow work and how to build on that and deep dive into those experiences that we create ourselves.
I love that. I think health is wealth. It's also too how I just feel that right now in this time period, a lot of us are becoming more enlightened and having our own spiritual awakening.
Yep.
And I feel like we have a choice but to do that, because the world is moving and expanding and we have to move with it. And it gets me so excited to know that people are becoming more enlightened about health being wealth, or just health in general, like becoming more conscious eaters, becoming more conscious of how they use their time, being more conscious even with drinking water. I have a lot of friends who are asking, even on my YouTube channel, from one of my favorite videos, most viewed videos, is my water manifestation, because I talk about how you can do that every time you sip water. You can manifest. It doesn't have to be. And one thing too, I want people to always remember too, it's not, manifesting isn't about physical things. It could be peace of mind. It could be confident. It could be the will to do something, or to have endurance, or to feel some type of feeling. It doesn't always have to be something. So when you get to use food and your workouts and your water to create that vibrating energy to the universe and saying like, hey, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling excited and abundant, you'll create so much more abundance. It just has to roll over in every area of your life. So
yeah, I agree. There's just so much, I guess you can say, like, abundance within us that makes it so beautiful. Like, I think that's another thing too about doing the inner work is when you are manifesting, whether it's a specific person, money, or like you said, a peaceful mind, just a mind of relaxation and being in this time, in this moment, thinking about, how can I just breathe or manifest in my day-to-day life. So I love that you said that, because I don't even count the amount of times I do it, but every time I think about my manifestations, every time I think about being in the state of my manifestation, I breathe into it. So like even after, in between a meeting, or even if I'm just like walking downstairs to get water or whatever it may be, I'm always breathing consciously. I try to breathe as much as possible. And I find that alone has allowed me to be more conscious. And I love that you said that, because there are so many people that are making such an impact. And I've been looking around and seeing just like the shift of people, even in the content space, speaking about meditation, speaking about crystals, speaking about those things. And I spoke to one of my followers, and she was saying that, like, she's actually from Johannesburg, South Africa. And she was saying that, spirituality is not something that they talk about there, because they consider it kind of woo woo and all that stuff. But there is kind of this new generation that is getting inspired by this consciousness and is kind of teaching people to look inwards and to learn and expand our education of things that people have been doing for so many years. Like, our soul has had experiences of consciousness, of meditation, of state of being, of manifestation, law of attraction. These are things that our ancestors have used for years, right? But now we're just more aware of what it's called and how to use it. And I do believe that if, when we continue, not if, when we continue this, it will make better leaders. It will bring more love into this space. We're already in the middle of like this huge rebirthing on its own, and it's so exciting. It will allow people to set into less competition and more into heart space, more collaboration. You're already starting to see that. And through anything, whether it's, a struggle, whether it is an issue, a disagreement, we're going to be able to come out of there being closer than ever. So that's a huge part, is just really thinking that, look around our world today. We are evolving so much, and you all are part of that. So I just want you guys to know that, because I think that's so important to understand that we are in this huge, rapid, kind of ascension of us going higher in consciousness. And it's brought us so many amazing blessings just on a day-to-day basis. So just starting with that and reflecting on that through breath throughout your day can really help you be calmer for meditation, like Krista asked, or even just being grateful and understanding where you're at for your journey of healing and releasing too.
Yeah. It makes me excited to know that people, like, more and more people are understanding this law, because it's just showing you like the evolution, like, yes, the evolution of technology, but also the evolution of thought itself.
Yeah.
And I believe when we get to see people thinking more grander, like more like thinking the impossible, it's really cool. So I think right now, it's a great time for people to really start building this momentum, because this is, even just doing our research for the new video that we just did, if you guys haven't saw it yet.
Yes, it was so good. I was so happy that we got to do that collaboration. Summer and I do new moon and full moon videos every month. And if you look at it, you can really see a little bit of the connection of what we're discussing today too.
But it is a very, very revolutionary shift period. And this is the time, I remember a couple months ago, I remember so many times I would miss out. I would think I'm missing out on some type of wave that, came and gone of abundance. Because I would feel that. And I definitely feel like universe always brings things to you, like to test, are you actually ready to be the person you're saying you want to be? Because if you are, then you're willing to you have to always be willing to take that risk. But it's not really taking a risk, it's just taking that leap of faith. And if it doesn't work out, you know more about yourself. You know what doesn't work. Because I always say, in every moment, you know what you like, you know what you don't like. In every moment, you see what you don't like, you know what you do like. And you can use that power to manifest. So,
yeah, I love that. And that's why even myself with manifestation, I make a new intention every day. I don't have like one like affirmation I create. And the reason why is because, like I said, first of all, we change every day. And, you kind of work with flows, right? So today I might, want to work on abundance. Tomorrow I might want to work on my emotions because that's what's coming out. It's a day of releasing for me. So I really just suggest, if you really want to expand and allow your manifestations to do the same, is really create one mantra for the day, like not for the week or whatnot. Just see what feels good to you when you meditate and what your intuition is bringing to you. Because like you said, you should kind of have that flow and adaptability. And, if a manifestation doesn't work out, then you learn something else. If, that opportunity of a job doesn't work out, you learn something else. Like maybe there's another opportunity waiting for you. If that relationship that you've been really wanting to work out, then maybe there's some more inner work that you need to do before you start to invest your love into someone else, right? So really think about that, because, it is tough love to hear those words, but, you can't say that you would ever, go back or regret from that feeling, because at the end of the day, it's always a blessing, and the universe is always working towards us, even in about.
I was just on my Buddhist call yesterday with two leaders, and we were just talking, and I was telling them, I noticed that in my life when I am I've been on this momentum of manifesting something I've been wanting for such a good amount of time, and I noticed that as it's revealing itself to me in much grander ways, like showing I'm closer, I'm getting closer and closer. I noticed that things come up to see my determination.
Yeah.
To continuing my path, because I don't believe in quote unquote the devil, but a lot of people say that he's at work too, and I believe that negative energy is right there too. It's like it will always match us exactly where we are, and I just think that even when you start to feel defeated, understand this, it's larger than what you may see. And just know that you have the power of source within you to continue. It's hard, I know. I know it doesn't make it easy to say, but
it is hard, but it's also not impossible, right?
Yeah. It's important to know our strength, because even if especially just with Black Lives Matter and being a Black woman, I find that even if I can't, not to say I don't, but even if the average person can't get the love from others in any specific way, if it's internet friends, community, spiritual group, I want people to know that you can create it within yourself, and it's going to be so trying, but when you get to a point of that self-love where no one can break it, I mean, you'll literally be to a point where you could just say no and be so okay with it, to whatever is presented to you at that point, because you're so aligned within yourself and so comfortable that no matter what happens outside of you, if you're just like, oh, it's okay. So yeah. I don't know. I admire people who are like that, who have that, that willpower to always have that endurance and will life, no matter what is going on.
And I think we all have that power, right? It's just a matter of practicing it. So, like you all can get to that point where you can say no and feel confident about it. And I was the same, going like, wow, like seeing my parents or grandparents just say no about things right away and being like, oh, like, how could you just say no? But it comes with practice and knowing ourselves, right? And if we can learn how to know ourselves at the youngest and earliest age that we can, and I know for you, you work with kids too. So imagine a kid learning about manifestation, meditation, all those things, as well as having such a malleable mind where they have such an imagination and expansion in themselves. Imagine the kids and the adults and the teens that they would be, right? So that's why I'm saying it's amazing that we are able to understand how to manifest relationships, how to manifest things, and have that power. Because if we can do that so early, it removes doubt, it removes fear, it removes anxiety, it removes all these lower vibrational words, and allows us to evolve to a point where we understand and we can feel, you know, where to go, how to make decisions. What is more important to us? What's the difference between our emotions and someone else's emotions? That's another part too, right? Sometimes people are manifesting specific people, but that's on the basis of someone else's emotion. That's on a basis of judgment, you know, or vanity, these words that are, again, low vibrational. So really focus on, I think that's one of the most biggest things, is understanding that, you know, we have this power to say no, understanding the why behind things, why behind no, why behind, you know, yes, why behind money. You know, why do you want money? Why do you want that specific person? Why do you want a soul tribe? Why do you want to learn about manifestation? You could start with just the small things like that. And then from there, you can be rooted into what you need to heal. Where are you at? Where are your emotions? Where's your subconscious thoughts? These things that are underlying within us. And all the time, whether you get like, you know, any person to help you out, they're just reflecting what is already in you. They're just mirroring and sharing to you what's already inside you, right? And that brought me to really realize, when manifesting specific people as well, is like, sometimes you advance yourself, but at the end of the day, you can only go so far as your surrounding, right? You can only go so far as your surroundings. So it's up to you to check in and cleanse that and allow yourself to know, okay, am I at this person's level consciously? Or is this person at a, you know, a more advanced level that they're going to make me expand the way that I need to be expanded at this time in my life? So that's one of the things I did. Like, I started writing down in my journal, you know, I manifested Summer in my journal. I was like, this is the type of person I want. Like, I manifested a couple other friends in my journal, and all within less than a month, I ended up contacting or connecting with them, or whatever it may have you. And it's so beautiful to already see where the, you know, friendship's going. That's the type of thing that you want. You want to have so much confidence in the friendship you have, in the relationship you have, in the job you have, and the money that you're flowing in and out into your life. You want to just have that light. And then when you do, things will just come to you so quickly. You won't even have to work hard at all, because it's just something that you just know innately. And that's what we're all working towards.
This morning when we were talking via voice note, I was staring, as I am staring at my tree. And I was saying how it was so organic, because even when we first started, it was more so like business. It wasn't friendship first, and friendship just came with it. It wasn't even like a forceful thing. And I think that is also what makes it so fun, because you get to see the organics of the universe and the law of attraction and of yourself, because it's not forceful. Because let's say me and Shika were not necessarily supposed to have this thing. After our first collab, it would have been one and done. It wouldn't have been every single day we're inspired at this point to talk to each other, not because we have to. And I just think that that's what it's about. It's when you're inspired to do something, to put out the affirmation, to sit down and meditate and think of the manifestation. It should never be praying, saying, I need this thing, because you're just saying you need something outside of yourself to fulfill. It's never the case.
And that's a pleasure. Yeah. That's not a need at that point. You know what I mean? Like, that's blocking out what you need, what you want in your life through pleasures. And in doing that, you actually have more of your shadow work to do. There's more healing of the soul that needs to be done, right? So That's so
Yeah.
important to know. We have a question by Krista on YouTube saying, can you talk about speaking your truth around family members? I love this question. Because this is something, this is something I think we both struggled with. So like, yeah, how did you go about that with your family of just like, you know, talking your truth about certain things?
So the first time I did it, I did not do it right because I was not aware of, you know, yes, I knew of communication skills, but I didn't know how to express myself while being angry or while feeling emotion that's not good. So I felt that I was very misunderstood because I didn't put myself in a way to be understood. And so it didn't end well. It ended in more frustration. I think, through time and also with chanting, I'm gonna have to put it on that too, because when you are exercising that throat chakra to speaking that truth all of the time, I mean, because I chant twice a day for an hour, I feel that you are really just saying, like, showing up and saying, I'm always going to speak my truth. So the honest truth is that I haven't been able to do that because my truth is not necessarily accepted. So I'm not going to say I have the opportunity to always speak my truth, but it's free to know that I did speak it, and even though it's not respected in the way I appreciate, So I hope I answered a little bit.
No, that was good. For me, it's different. I'm in the process of doing it. So I'm hoping I could share about it more on my channel, but my childhood was very interesting with just like the dynamic in the household. And I went through a lot of shadow work, healing and whatnot. One of the biggest things for me is my throat chakra was clogged to the max. Like I didn't even have the value of understanding that I had a throat, to be honest, with everything that has been going on at that point. And it happened so much that I suppressed my voice, that in doing that, and I can say this in confidence now, the things that have gone in my life, such as my assault or even like, other health issues that have happened, were all as a result to the energetic holdings and negative energetic holdings within my body. My body didn't have a place to release that at all. And in doing that, I left home. I went through the darkest of the dark, like to the point where like I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful I get to chat with you guys. I'm grateful that, Source, my angel, said, hey, you have a bigger purpose, Shika. Your journey is not over. And when I noticed that, I had a click overnight where it was like, I need to build my relationship with my family, because my healing isn't only about me. My ability to speak my truth isn't only about me. It's also a representation of my mom, my grandmother, and everyone before that I've never met, and everyone after me. So the moment that you notice that we are also connected, whether that's family here, like even just talking to you guys, we are all connected. We are so connected, right? And the moment you know that this mission is more than it's about you, is the moment that you're going to be able to understand what truth is. You're not only releasing truth for you and your throat, but also for everyone else's, right? And that ripple effects. So it started with small things of just, telling my mom one extra little thing about my day, and like this journey of manifestation, of mentoring, of creating this business, where majority of my family have very structured, jobs of doctors and all those things where, you go to school for a long time and then you get into your job, right? So for me, going into the area of arts, where it's very different, right? Media is a very different space, it's a very expressive space. And I've always been like that since a kid. Start from the beginning again of what is this creative energy? What is this masculine energy? And how do I have these insecurities within that? What do I need to release from that? So speaking my truth for me was really coming down to just not being afraid of saying my opinion. I think that was one of the biggest things, not being afraid to say what I have to say, to get it off my chest, and understand that judgment is nothing to do with me. It is all to do with the world. And the moment that we're able to understand that is the moment that we can kind of live more free, like we live life lighter. And I'm in the process of that, of embracing it, because I've noticed that since going deeper into spirituality and whatnot, and obviously certain people and their energies have different opinions about that, I understand that, that's me, that's who I am, that's who they are. I respect that. But that's in no way do I have to constrain myself and my expansion because of what they want to focus on, right? And that's just getting more evolved and expanding onto your intuitive gifts. And I think that's the beautiful thing. The moment that you can tell yourself that that is someone else's judgment, it's not yours. It takes time. I'm not fully there yet, but I'm on the journey of it, and I can share that with a lot of people. And is the moment that we can end up seeing that we can just step into our full potential. And that's what happened with me. I think that was one of the biggest things that really expanded how to build relationships with family members, and also always understand that our inner child, our teenage child, and all other aspects of our life is always within us. So that's another thing with just like working with ourselves. Like if there's a point of your life where that communication or that speaking the truth was suppressed, it will show in other areas of your life, right? So it's very important to really focus on even the parts of yourself in the now that are coming from, habits or experiences from the past, and understanding why you react that way or why you respond that way.
One thing I was telling to a friend the other day, I would have to be honest. My truth is I was having a hard time, like I was speaking about, expressing myself when I'm angry, because I find that I can't do it. So I'm the type of person when it's a quarrel and it's hostile, I like to leave, and then come back to talk. But opinions of others, it doesn't always work. But I find that breath, because I remember one time I was very, very someone said something to me that struck a very hard nerve, I guess, in my ego, because my whole body felt it. I don't know if anyone has ever felt anger like that before, or just words from someone. Mm-hmm. And I remember saying I can either give the person the power by reacting versus responding, or I could just take my power and hold my tongue and just breathe through it. And it took me 3 minutes, actually. I remember, because I was looking at the clock.
Yeah.
And after those 2, I was able to say, thank you for sharing, and I just had to exit. But it made me feel good to know, wow, my maybe teenage self or younger self, because it's not today, right? Wouldn't respond like that. So I wanted to also say breathing again. Just taking a really deep breath before you respond to anybody is very powerful. It's very hard, but the more you build the muscle to not react to judgment or just even you judging someone else's words, because that's what I was doing. Because I was attaching emotion to the word. I didn't have to do that.
Yeah. I'm happy you said that so much, because I see a lot of myself when you say that. The same thing would happen to me. Any relationship or anything, I would always walk away. I'm like, no, the way it works, because I was afraid of seeing my reaction. I was like, no, we have to give me 5 minutes before we start talking about the situation. I was the exact same. And actually, through my current relationship, my partner is the complete opposite. We need to talk about it right now. And I used to be so annoyed that I needed my space. But that was me reacting because I was so angry and I didn't want to face the confrontation, that was something. And I remember as a kid, just sitting there and not saying a word and not having an opportunity to say a word and just listening to an argument being said at me. And I just had to just sit there and kind of absorb it. Right. So then when, I had that chance where I was like, no, you're not going to take that power away from me again. I'm going to run away from it. That was me reacting from my inner child. And that's why I say it's so important for us to understand why we react the way we do, because that can also affect our relationship so much so. And I was the same way. I would walk away. So now what I do is breath, like you. I breathe inwards. I kind of take myself and I say, Shika, calm down. And then I ask myself, why am I angry? I ask myself, why am I sad? Why am I angry? Why am I mad? I'm able to kind of say, you know what? that actually really hurt me. I didn't really feel comfortable doing that. I release it. And then I go back to understanding the why. And I say, why did you use those words? To understand, so I can take it away from, my own thing and it being a reflection of me, and make it more of like, how does this reflect to our situation? And I think this is so big because, again, a lot of you who are asking on like manifesting specific people and whatever, a lot of that is forgiveness. If it's a past relationship, and you don't need to have that person in that space to forgive them. You don't even need to contact them, but you need to forgive yourself on the reactions that you've created. You have to forgive them for their reactions on what they've created, because it's really just two souls coming together to create one energy field, right? So if it's partially damaged, almost like an aura, if you will, if it's partially damaged, it's going to affect and have this relationship, I guess you can say, stagnant energy, and it would not be able to flow. And the person's just always going to go back to that feeling every time they communicate, right? So it's very, very important. And I think it's freeing for us as humans to always release that and let go of that, and always understand, why am I reacting like this? Breathing into the pain and really looking at, how does this relate to the present now? Not going back to the future, to the forward, or whatever it is, being in now. And the power of that can really allow us to evolve and feel a lot more, I guess you can say more, what's the word? More accepting with ourselves. Like you said at the beginning, kind to ourselves. And I think that's so needed, that we're like, when we're going through these journeys, we forget to be kind to our own person. We'll be kind to everyone else. We'll be giving, we'll be nurturing. But when it comes to us, we get uncomfortable about talking about those things. So focus that energy inwards, and you'll see a lot of growth within that.
Yes, as the quote says, as within, so without.
Yes, I agree, 100%. I think it was so good just talking about like manifestation and everything. It's always great having our lives. I love like the conversations we have, and just feeling like so great. And I feel like it's almost a release for me. I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, it's like an opportunity for us to feed off of our energy of discussions and like things that we've learned, and also our experiences, right? That's how we learn how we can move forward after that, right? So I really am always so grateful to do these lives with you, Summer.
Thank you. I enjoy them as well. I was thinking, like, how can I incorporate, maybe we do a live on mine, like once a week or something. It's like, we need to incorporate more collabs, because I love it. I mean, I feel like things are just flowing. I just love sharing with others, with what the universe wants speaking in. So
it comes so naturally. And that's the thing too, when you're manifesting anything, or even having a relationship or friends or whatever it may have you, it should flow. It should always flow. Like, I feel like when it doesn't flow, there's always something that you can either heal within that, or, it's just not meant to happen, right? And that's just the thing that, like you said, we start with business, and now we talk every single day. We support each other every single day. And I am so grateful for that. And it can be the reverse. You might end up having a friendship and then see like, oh, let's make a project together. And that's what opens doors for us, when we're open to let that energy expand and flow with the two people, or even more, right? So it's so awesome. I'm so grateful for you, Summer. Thank you so much for coming on the live. I appreciate you so much.
I need to turn up grateful for you. I tell you that every day.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like I can never get tired of saying it. So I always say it all the time. Like, I'm so grateful for you, and like everything you do. Yeah, and like we just like, I don't know, I just like everything that we talk about, just like it just clicks, and I love it. I love it so much. You guys have to check out her video. It's coming out on Manifestation Monday. Is it out already, or?
No, it should be out. I want to say maybe it might be an evening video. So between 3 and 4.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Go check out Summer's video. She does videos on manifestation, chants, all the good things. If you like her conversations, you'll definitely like her videos as well and her channel. So make sure you subscribe. And then I also talk about law of attraction, manifestation, and angel numbers, and do meditation. So you can go check that out as well. And we do a lot of collaborations together because I just feel like we flow so well, and there's just so much great information that we can give to you guys. So we really hope you enjoyed it as well.
Absolutely. I hope you guys have, I trust you guys are going to have a great week. We have summer solstice and moon energy, so it's just time to not necessarily plan, but just get excited for the good on its way.
Yes, there's so much good coming our way. So just be open to it, do the inner healing, and just be happy. Like at the end of the day, be like just be in the state of being. That's all that we ask. That's all that you should be. And in doing that, you'll be able to notice that things will just flow.
Absolutely. Always so flow as long as you are.
Yeah, exactly. It's a reflection. So thanks so much, Summer. I appreciate you so much. We'll be back to do a Manifestation Monday next week. So make sure you join us at 1 p.m. Eastern time next week, Monday. And just keep an eye out on our Instagram. We also do other collaborations too. So thanks again, Summer.
So much. Have a fantastic day.
You too. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys, so much for being part of it. This was super amazing. I'm so grateful to have you guys on. I know Instagram is giving me the timer right now, so I just want to wrap it up. I do have a Manifestation Monday story on my YouTube channel, so go check that out. It is on how I was able to manifest my personal trainer in one day, and it's really good for those who just want more inspiration. I think it's such a beautiful story, and I think you would really enjoy it. So Instagram, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time for another Cacao Chit Chat. So thank you so much. And YouTube, thank you guys for joining in. It's always such a treat to get to do these like fun collaborations every single like Monday, basically online. Like right now, it's still online. So definitely go check that out. I also want to give you guys a reading for the day. I feel so called for it. I hope you guys can hear me though, because I have my fan on. It's way too hot here. And I wanted to make sure that I was kind of just all cool down and I wasn't sweating. So I'm going to do a quick card reading with my chakra cards and my angel cards. I'm just looking at my angel cards to make sure I have them. So as usual, we're going to just start off by closing our eyes before we start and just breathing into our collective as together as an energy. So just taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. We're just going to do a little bit longer this time. In through the nose. And release. We're going to ask guides, spirits, angels, Mother Earth, universe, for a card reading today, for whatever message that you have for us today, based on our intentions and our energy as a collective. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Awesome. Let's do this card reading. I'm super excited. This is a good day. I hope you guys enjoyed that, by the way. We had such great conversation. We always do. Okay. See what our guides have for us. What messages do our guides have? Okay, so, oops, that was my crystal. I have one of these crystals for electronics that I've been using for the retrograde, so I have it all over right now. I forgot the name. It's Tenonite. Tenonite. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so we have 3 cards from our guides for today. The first one is mother yourself. How can we mother ourselves? The new moon energy is still in effect right now. I definitely feel that one of the biggest lessons that we can learn right now is how can I take care of myself for these new beginnings? How can I just be more kind to my soul, not being hard on myself? The Mother Earth is really all about that. This card flipped out, and ironically, again, we did this for yesterday's card came out again. That's the sacred chakra on guilt. How am I giving myself guilt instead of celebrating and enjoying all that I'm doing in my life right now? How am I stepping away from being guilty, feeling guilty, and just really releasing at this time? Next card we have is transformation. Things are changing on a cellular level. There is deep healing happening, which has caused us to feel emotional, which has caused us to feel like huge things are coming. We don't know what it is, but we have a feeling. There will be a lot of grief of releasing of old energy in order to make new room. You might notice that you're going through a spiritual awakening. You might also notice that relationships feel a little bit different than usual. Transformation is all about learning more about your soul self and learning more about what we need to know. This card came out on quest. What is the quest that you need to do next in order for your transformation to expand? That is a great question to ask yourself. What is the next thing that you need to do in order for you to expand as you are, to expand your soul, your higher self, your journey, and what you're meant to do? Unbound. Unbound is all about releasing soul patterns and contracts of past lives. As the new moon is close to us during this solar eclipse, one of the biggest things is past life experiences. A lot of people feeling heavy with everything going on, specifically with Black Lives Matter and also politically as well. And the reason why is because our past lives had something to do with the situations currently going on. So for example, one of my friends in her past life, she had an experience that she was a slave and she felt this heaviness that she kept having and she didn't understand why. And it was because of the soul patterns. So this is a great time to take advantage of clearings. This is a great time to understand a little bit more, maybe do a birth chart to understand more about what you're doing, get a birth chart reading. It could also be a great time just to kind of like pull out anything that you feel is weighing you down and work inwards. You can also ask your guides as to what is this soul pattern? What are these contracts that you need to release? Understand that these contracts and past lives are used for two reasons: lessons and for us to heal our ancestral patterns. Renewal is the next card that I got, and this is the root chakra. How can we renew our energy? How can we renew and cleanse our ancestral pattern? I want to read this one because it's so beautiful. And the renewal says, it's the first one here, this is another beginning. What appears to be an end may not be one after all. This may turn into a remarkable opportunity. Trust that whatever is coming is better than what you have known at this point. So understand that right now you can't see it. You can't see what's going, and that's where kind of this mystical energy comes in. The universe is constructing so much behind the scenes. But beyond all of this, if you look as you close your eyes around you from perspective, there's just so much growing around you. There's so much depth that's happening. There's so much healing that's expanding, right? So really understand that and know that that is so important at this time. I feel like that was a beautiful reading. I hope these cards align with you. Let me know in the comments how you guys enjoyed that. That card was just so on point. All these cards are so on point, so aligned. And just understand that I need to be kind with myself at this time. I cannot be harsh on my soul. I cannot be, really, how do I say it? Do the deeper healing for yourself. It is needed at this time in order for you to release what is needed to be released. Right now, the soul patterns are going to repeat itself if you do not release what needs to happen. Tap into your intuitive gifts or your intuition and your gut space through meditation and through healing that will allow you to understand. And through doing that is actually mothering yourself along with everyone that is connected to you. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got inspired today on Manifestation Monday. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. It does help a lot and takes a few seconds. We really want to manifest 1 million souls 2020 to support. So share with your friends if you feel like this would really resonate with them. Also, I will be posting videos every single day, so you get a little bit of inspiration every day on manifestation, law of attraction, angel numbers, readings, even meditations live. It's just so great to have you guys here, and I am so grateful for your energy every single day. So that is it. I hope you guys have a great day, night, and morning. I'm sending you so much love and so much light to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Grateful for you. Bye.